Emotions are running high during King Charles' visit to Kenya, the monarch expressing deep regret over Britain's colonial past in Africa. Let's bring in Royal Editor of the Daily Mirror, Russell Myers, who joins us from Mombasa in Kenya. Rusty, good evening to you, Kenyan time. Talk us through the significance of this trip.
Well, morning, Carl. Well, huge trip, obviously, for King Charles. People were expecting him to possibly visit one of the 14 realms. I was obviously hoping to get down under to see your very good self, but we are in Kenya. And why are we here? I mean, it's a big Commonwealth nation, of course, a bastion of democracy here in Africa. But with this great responsibility comes great issues for Charles, because he is made to face up to the issues, the abhorrentness of British colonial rule, which has plagued Kenya throughout the years. And he was talking about the fact that Britain does need to face up to facts, and if it's going to move on with its relationships with our partners abroad, then that is something that his reign is going to be documented by. And even though he's used pretty tough language, I think it's been well received here in Kenya.
Yeah, I just wondered how it was going down.
Well, listen, it's difficult for Charles, because I don't think we would have seen the Queen making these sorts of statements. And wherever he goes, we had it in the Caribbean when William and Kate were there, and they're talking about reparations, but specifically in the Caribbean, but of course here in Kenya as well. The Mau Mau uprising of 1950s is a particular burden for Kenyans to move forward from. But I think King Charles has, he's played a straight bat, and he's sort of damned if he does, damned if he doesn't in certain quarters. But a job well done, I think, for Charles over the last couple of days.
Also, the Queen put on her dancing shoes. Talk to us.
Well, she did. She had her dancing shoes on, then she had her boots on. We were at an elephant orphanage earlier, but this is the sort of thing that people want to see when you're in country, getting involved with the locals, local customs, and give it to her. She's a good sport, is Camilla.
King Charles and Queen Camilla have shown off their softer side on day 2 of their state visit to Kenya. Our Europe correspondent Edward Godfrey has been following their visit. Edward, the royal couple has had another busy day.
Yeah, they have, Sarah. Another action-packed day for the King and Queen on their royal tour of Kenya. And it was a real-life case of a dancing queen today when Camilla joined a group of women in Nairobi for a traditional dance and song. She seemed a little bit unsure at times about the moves and the words, but she wore a smile and a special red robe, which they'd given to her. Charles and Camilla also visited an animal orphanage where they mingled with the staff there and some young elephants and gave them a pat and a feed, and they seemed quite smitten by a little baby rhino there wearing a blue coat. You might just see it dart across in the vision there in a moment. Now, while they were singing and dancing, not all are happy with this visit. There is a lot of anger towards the British monarchy and the UK over atrocities committed there before Kenya declared independence in 1963, and some current matters too. Charles acknowledged some of the painful past in a state banquet speech last night local time, talking of the sorrow and regret, but today a group of activists were demanding an apology from him. The visit, though, carried on, however. Charles visiting a forest and planting a tree, something he does very often on visits like this. Today really had a focus on the environment and sustainability.
Global warming, biodiversity loss and climate change are challenges, serious challenges, which threaten us all, and can only be met by the whole of society working together.
Sarah, something very close to the King's heart there, the environment and sustainability. He and Camilla have 2 days to go on this royal visit.
Thank you, Edward.
Here's a story for